I see you as you begin this day, stepping into a world that holds both beauty and danger, peace and pressure, certainty and unseen threats. You do not know everything that lies ahead, but I do. You do not see every challenge, but I am already there. Before fear speaks, before worry forms, listen to me. You are not walking alone. I surround you, I watch over you, and I guard what concerns you. Lift your eyes to me this morning, not because danger is absent, but because my protection is present. Walk forward with confidence, knowing that I am your shield, your refuge, and your defender in all things. When you trust me with your safety, you are not pretending that danger does not exist. You are acknowledging that danger does not have authority over you. I watch over you with intention, not casually, not from a distance, but attentively. My protection is not random, it is deliberate. I see what approaches you long before you sense it. I see what hides beneath appearances, what waits quietly, what plans harm in subtle ways. Nothing escapes my awareness. I guard you not only from visible threats, but from what you cannot see. There are dangers you would never recognize on your own, paths that look harmless but lead to loss, words that sound wise but carry deception, decisions that promise relief but bring regret. I intervene quietly, redirecting your steps, closing doors, delaying plans, and stirring caution in your spirit. Often you call this instinct or coincidence, but it is my protection at work. You may think of protection only as rescue in moments of crisis, but my care begins long before crisis arrives. I protect you by shaping your character, sharpening your discernment, and steadying your heart. A guarded heart makes wise choices. A steady mind resists panic. A discerning spirit avoids traps. Protection is not only what I stop, it is what I prepare you to avoid. I know how vulnerable you feel when you step into uncertainty. The unknown can feel threatening simply because it is unknown. But uncertainty does not frighten me. I see the full landscape of your life at once. Where you see only the next step, I see the entire journey. My protection covers not only today, but what today sets in motion. I watch over you in your conversations. Words can wound as deeply as actions. I guard you from entanglements that would drain you, from conflicts that would consume you, from agreements that would bind you unfairly. When you feel restrained from speaking or prompted to remain silent, do not assume weakness. Sometimes silence is shelter. You are not protected because you are perfect. You are protected because you belong to me. I know your flaws, your fears, your past mistakes. None of these cancel my care. My protection is rooted in relationship, not performance. You do not earn it by striving. You receive it by trusting. I guard you in moments of temptation. Temptation often disguises itself as opportunity. It appeals to your desires and minimizes its cost. I protect you by exposing consequences before they unfold. When something within you hesitates, listen. That hesitation is not confusion. It is wisdom being activated. I know how often you underestimate the dangers of exhaustion. When you are tired, your defenses lower. Discernment dulls. Patience thins. I protect you by calling you to rest. Rest is not weakness. It is a shield. A rested soul sees clearly and responds wisely. I watch over your emotions. Strong emotions can drive reckless decisions. Fear urges you to run. Anger urges you to strike. Desire urges you to grasp. I protect you by slowing you down internally, giving you space between feeling and action. That space is safety. You may feel exposed in environments where you lack control. Workplaces, relationships, public spaces, unknown territories. Control is not your protection. I am. When you surrender the illusion of control, you gain the reality of care. You do not need to manage everything to be safe. I guard you from enemies you never meet. Not every battle confronts you directly. Some dangers dissolve before reaching you. Plans collapse, words are withheld, paths cross and then separate. You never see these moments, but they matter. Absence of harm is often evidence of protection. I know how easily fear convinces you that you must defend yourself constantly, but constant self-defense exhausts you and narrows your vision. I protect you so you can live freely, not guarded by anxiety, but guided by trust. I watch over your integrity. Compromise may promise safety, but it weakens you from within. I protect you by strengthening your resolve to choose what is right even when it costs you. Integrity is armor that does not rust. I guard you in your thoughts. Thoughts shape direction. Destructive thinking leads you into danger before your body ever moves. I protect you by renewing your mind, reminding you of truth, interrupting lies before they settle. You are not only protected from harm, you are preserved for purpose. Protection is not about keeping you idle. It is about keeping you effective. I guard your life because it matters. There is work for you to do, love for you to give, truth for you to live. I know how vulnerable you feel at night and how exposed you feel in the morning. I am present in both. I neither sleep nor look away. When you rest, I watch. When you rise, I guide. I protect you from bitterness. Bitterness poisons the soul and clouds judgment. I guard your heart by inviting forgiveness, by softening what pain tries to harden. A free heart is safer than a guarded one. I watch over your steps. Sometimes protection looks like redirection. Plans change. Opportunities vanish. Delays frustrate you. But what you call interruption, I call rescue. Trust me when I reroute you. I protect you from becoming what would destroy you. Not all danger comes from outside. Pride, envy, resentment, and despair can do more damage than external threats. I guard you by correcting you gently, by convicting rather than condemning. I know how often you ask me to remove danger entirely. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I walk you through it. Walking through does not mean abandonment. It means refinement. You are not unprotected because you face difficulty. You are protected within it. I watch over your future. Choices you make today echo forward. I protect you by guiding those choices, even when you do not understand why a certain path feels closed or uncomfortable. My foresight is your safety. I guard your identity. Accusation, criticism, and misunderstanding try to redefine you. I protect you by anchoring your worth in me. When you know who you are, lies lose power. I protect you from fear itself. Fear magnifies threats and shrinks perspective. I restore perspective by reminding you of my presence. Where I am, fear cannot rule. I watch over your family, your loved ones, your responsibilities. You carry concern for many things. Release what you cannot protect into my hands. You are not meant to be the guardian of everything. I guard you with tenderness. Protection is not only strength, it is care. I shelter you when you are fragile. I shield you when you are overwhelmed. I carry you when you cannot stand. I know how easily you forget that protection is not temporary. I do not protect you for a moment and then withdraw. My care is constant. You are not safe only when you feel strong. You are safe because I am faithful. I watch over you when you doubt. Doubt does not remove my protection. Doubt invites deeper trust. Bring it to me. I protect you as you walk into this day, into conversations you have not yet imagined, into decisions you have not yet faced, into challenges you do not yet see. Nothing catches me off guard. Walk forward now with confidence, not in your own strength, but in my watchful care, knowing that I go before you, stand beside you, and surround you from behind, guarding your steps, steadying your heart, shielding your life, and keeping you secure under my protection as you move through this day covered, guided, and held safely in my hands. I hear you when you speak to me with sincerity rather than performance. I listen not only to your words, but to the truth beneath them. When you walk in truth, your prayers do not echo into emptiness. They reach me fully, clearly, and without obstruction. Truth creates alignment, and alignment opens the way for communion. I am not drawn to volume, repetition, or perfection. I am drawn to honesty, humility, and a heart that refuses deception. Walking in truth does not mean you never struggle. It means you do not pretend before me. You bring your questions without disguising them. You confess your weakness without justifying it. You seek my guidance without manipulation. This posture matters more than polished language. When your life and your prayers agree, your voice carries weight. I know how tempting it is to hide behind religious words while guarding personal agendas. Words can sound faithful while the heart remains resistant. But I see beyond language. I hear what is genuine. When you walk in truth, you stop negotiating with me and start trusting me. That trust shapes your prayers. I listen attentively to those who walk in truth because truth invites clarity. Deception clouds communication. Half-truths distort intention. But honesty clears the channel. When you come to me without masks, without rehearsed explanations, without image management, you create space for response. Walking in truth also means aligning your actions with what you ask. You do not pray for guidance while refusing direction. You do not pray for peace while feeding conflict. You do not pray for protection while choosing recklessness. Alignment does not guarantee immediate answers, but it ensures that your prayers are received without contradiction. I know how often people mistake eloquence for effectiveness, but prayer is not persuasion. You cannot convince me of what I already know. You cannot impress me into responding. What moves me is trust expressed through obedience. When you live truthfully, your prayers become extensions of your life rather than requests detached from it. I hear prayers spoken in truth, even when they are messy. Tears, frustration, confusion, anger, longing, none of these silence you. What silences prayer is pretense. When you say one thing and live another, inner conflict disrupts communion. Truth restores it. Walking in truth sharpens discernment. You recognize when your motives drift. You correct yourself without excuse. This self-honesty keeps your prayers grounded. You do not ask me to bless what contradicts truth. You ask me to shape you instead. I listen closely to prayers that come from integrity because integrity reflects trust. Trust is not blind certainty. It is willingness to align even when you do not understand. When you trust me enough to live honestly, your prayers carry humility. Humility creates openness. Openness invites response. I know how easy it is to pray defensively, to justify yourself, to explain away responsibility, to shift blame, but truth removes defensiveness. When you walk in truth, you accept correction without resistance. You listen as much as you speak. Prayer becomes conversation rather than argument. I hear prayers that come from truth, even when they ask hard questions. Why, how long, where are you? These questions do not offend me. They honor relationship. What hinders prayer is not questioning, but refusing truth when it answers back. Walking in truth also means forgiving when resentment would be easier. Resentment hardens the heart and blocks listening. Forgiveness clears space. When you forgive, your prayers become lighter. You are not weighed down by bitterness. I know how truth confronts pride. Pride resists listening. Pride speaks louder than it hears. When pride governs, prayer becomes monologue. Truth restores humility, and humility restores dialogue. I speak where humility listens. I hear prayers rooted in truth even when they are quiet. Loudness does not amplify sincerity. Stillness often speaks more clearly. A truthful heart does not need to shout to be heard. Walking in truth also means refusing manipulation. You do not bargain with me. You do not attempt to earn favor through performance. You trust relationship. Relationship invites response. I listen attentively to those who walk in truth, because truth reflects trust in who I am, rather than fear of how I will respond. Fear distorts prayer. Truth steadies it. I know how walking in truth costs you. Honesty is uncomfortable. Integrity is demanding. But this cost refines your prayers. What costs you to live also costs you to ask, and this sincerity carries depth. I hear prayers spoken in truth, even when they challenge your own desires. When you ask me to change you rather than your circumstances, your prayers open you to transformation. Walking in truth also guards your conscience. A guarded conscience listens clearly. Guilt muffles prayer. Repentance restores it. When you acknowledge wrong and realign, communion flows freely. I listen when you pray in truth, because truth is agreement with reality, and I am the source of reality. Prayer aligned with reality does not resist my response. I know how truth reshapes expectation. You stop demanding specific outcomes and begin seeking alignment. This shift allows me to answer fully, rather than partially. Walking in truth means you do not ask me to endorse what you refuse to release. You bring your plans openly and hold them loosely. This openness invites guidance. I hear prayers that come from truth even when they admit fear. Fear acknowledged loses power. Fear denied controls. Truth disarms fear. Walking in truth also means accepting limits. You stop pretending strength you do not have. You ask for help without shame. This humility deepens prayer. I listen when your life confirms your prayer. When you pray for wisdom and choose patience. When you pray for peace and pursue reconciliation. When you pray for protection and walk wisely. This alignment strengthens communion. I know how truth reshapes timing. You stop rushing me. You trust process. Patience speaks trust louder than urgency. Walking in truth also means resisting hypocrisy. Hypocrisy divides the heart. Truth unifies it. A unified heart prays clearly. I hear prayers that come from truth even when they are repetitive. Repetition rooted in trust is not vain. It is persistence. Walking in truth allows you to hear me more clearly as well. Listening sharpens when the heart is aligned. Prayer becomes two-way. I know how truth restores sensitivity. You recognize conviction quickly. You respond without delay. This responsiveness keeps prayer alive. I listen attentively to those who walk in truth, because truth creates agreement between heaven and earth. Agreement invites movement. Walking in truth also means surrendering image. You stop protecting reputation. You protect integrity instead. Integrity invites trust. I hear prayers spoken in truth when you choose obedience over explanation. Obedience speaks louder than words. Walking in truth allows prayer to flow naturally throughout your day. Prayer becomes posture rather than event. I know how truth simplifies prayer. You stop overthinking. You speak plainly. Simplicity invites clarity. I listen when your prayers come from truth, because truth does not resist response. It welcomes it. Walking in truth also aligns your desires. You ask for what reflects my heart. This alignment deepens intimacy. I hear prayers spoken in truth, even when they include confession. Confession does not repel me. It restores connection. Walking in truth protects prayer from becoming ritual. Ritual without truth is empty. Truth fills prayer with life. I listen attentively to those who walk in truth, because truth honors relationship over outcome. Relationship is my priority. I know how truth strengthens faith. Faith rooted in truth does not collapse when answers delay. Walking in truth also invites peace. Peace settles where deception departs. I hear prayers that rise from truth, even when circumstances remain unchanged. Change begins within alignment. Walking in truth allows prayer to shape you rather than pressure me. Transformation follows. I listen because truth opens the way. I respond because truth aligns hearts. I remain close because truth invites presence. And as you continue through this day walking in truth, choosing honesty over appearance, obedience over excuse, humility over pride, and alignment over convenience, your prayers will continue to rise clearly, your listening will deepen, your trust will strengthen, and your relationship with me will grow more intimate and secure, rooted in truth that allows communion to flow freely, protection to remain active, and guidance to remain steady as you walk forward under my attentive care. I am your refuge in ways you cannot always see, against dangers you do not always recognize, from threats that do not announce themselves. Not all harm comes loudly. Much of it moves quietly, disguised as normal, acceptable, even beneficial. I see what hides beneath appearances. I know what waits patiently. I understand what intends harm long before it draws near. When you run to me, you are not escaping reality. You are entering safety that understands reality fully. Hidden dangers are the ones that trouble you most because they are unseen. You fear what you cannot predict. You worry about what might be forming beyond your awareness. This fear is natural, but it is not meant to rule you. I do not ask you to see everything. I ask you to trust the one who does. Your safety does not depend on your vigilance. It depends on my faithfulness. I am a refuge not only when danger arrives, but before it forms. I guard you by shaping your path, not just shielding you on it. Many times, you believe you avoided harm through chance or timing. You arrived late. A plan changed. A conversation ended sooner than expected. These moments are not random. They are coverings you did not request but still received. Hidden dangers often enter through familiarity. What feels normal feels safe. What is repeated feels harmless. I protect you by renewing discernment, by stirring unease where comfort would deceive, by giving you restraint where impulse would rush. When something within you hesitates without clear reason, do not dismiss it. That hesitation is refuge forming. I know how easily subtle harm infiltrates through words. Words spoken carelessly can wound deeply. Words spoken deceptively can entangle you. Words spoken persistently can reshape belief. I am your refuge by guarding your mind. I interrupt lies before they settle. I weaken the power of manipulation before it binds. Truth within you resists falsehood around you. Hidden dangers also come through choices that seem small. A minor compromise, a slight exaggeration, a quiet resentment. These are rarely seen as threats, but they grow when ignored. I am your refuge by confronting what you would rather minimize. Conviction is not condemnation. It is protection. It stops what would harm you from taking root. I protect you from paths that look right but end poorly. There are directions that promise relief but deliver loss. I close doors quietly. I slow progress unexpectedly. I remove desire gradually. You may feel frustrated by these interruptions, but frustration fades. Regret lingers. Trust my redirections. Hidden dangers also rise from within. Fear that convinces you to hide. Pride that isolates you. Anger that seeks justification. Despair that whispers permanence. I am your refuge by guarding your heart. I challenge what would destroy you from the inside. Not every battle is external. Some are internal, and I stand watch there as well. I know how easily exhaustion becomes a doorway for harm. When you are tired, boundaries weaken. Discernment dulls. Temptation appears reasonable. I protect you by calling you to rest, by slowing your pace, by insisting on pause. Rest is not retreat. It is refuge. Hidden dangers often disguise themselves as urgency. Hurry pressures you to decide without wisdom. Panic urges action without clarity. I am your refuge by teaching you to wait. Waiting frustrates danger. It removes its advantage. Stillness exposes deception. I protect you from people whose intentions are not what they present. Not everyone who speaks kindly means well. Not every alliance is safe. I do not make you suspicious. I make you discerning. You learn to listen beyond tone. You sense inconsistency. You notice what does not align. This awareness is refuge. Hidden dangers also exist in success. Success lowers guard. It invites pride. It attracts exploitation. I am your refuge by keeping you grounded. Humility protects where achievement exposes. When you remember dependence, success does not consume you. I know how easily hidden dangers grow in isolation. Isolation convinces you that you are alone, unseen, unsupported. In isolation, lies sound louder. I am your refuge by drawing you toward connection, by reminding you that you are not meant to carry life alone. Community protects where isolation harms. I protect you from becoming hardened by pain. Pain unresolved becomes bitterness. Bitterness blinds judgment. I am your refuge by healing wounds before they poison your spirit. Healing takes time, but it prevents long-term harm. Hidden dangers also enter through distraction. A distracted heart misses warning signs. A divided mind overlooks truth. I am your refuge by restoring focus. You become present. You notice what matters. Awareness grows where attention is disciplined. I know how fear magnifies hidden threats until they feel overwhelming. Fear imagines worst outcomes without evidence. I am your refuge by restoring perspective. Perspective shrinks fear. It reminds you that danger is not sovereign. I protect you from spiritual exhaustion. When you try to be strong without resting in me, vulnerability increases. I am your refuge by being your strength. You are safest when you are not pretending to be invulnerable. Hidden dangers also come through unresolved guilt. Guilt distorts self-perception. It invites self-sabotage. I am your refuge by offering forgiveness. Forgiveness removes the leverage guilt holds. It restores clarity. I know how easily hidden dangers thrive in secrecy. Secrets isolate. Isolation weakens. I am your refuge by inviting honesty. What is brought into light loses power. Truth protects. I protect you from entanglements that would trap you gradually. Some traps do not close suddenly. They tighten slowly. Commitments that seem harmless. Obligations that grow heavy. I am your refuge by teaching you to say no. Boundaries protect life. Hidden dangers also hide in nostalgia. Longing for what was can blind you to what is. I am your refuge by guiding you forward. The past is not your shelter. I know how hidden dangers appear as self-reliance. Self-reliance feels strong, but it isolates you from help. I am your refuge by inviting dependence. Dependence on me is safety, not weakness. I protect you from becoming numb. Numbness feels like protection, but it is exposure. It dulls discernment. I am your refuge by restoring sensitivity. Sensitivity guided by wisdom keeps you safe. Hidden dangers often speak through flattery. Flattery bypasses discernment. It feeds pride. I am your refuge by grounding you in truth. Truth does not inflate or diminish you. It stabilizes you. I know how easily hidden dangers grow when truth is postponed. Delayed obedience invites complication. I am your refuge by prompting timely response. When you respond quickly to conviction, danger loses ground. I protect you from harmful narratives about yourself. Narratives shape identity. False identity invites harmful behavior. I am your refuge by anchoring you in who you are in me. Identity grounded in truth resists deception. Hidden dangers also exist in unexamined habits. Habits shape direction silently. I am your refuge by bringing awareness. What you repeat matters. Awareness allows correction. I know how hidden dangers thrive in environments where integrity is rare. Compromise becomes normal. I am your refuge by strengthening resolve. Resolve protects when culture does not. I protect you from despair that disguises itself as realism. Despair surrenders prematurely. I am your refuge by sustaining hope. Hope guards against decisions made in darkness. Hidden dangers also approach through impatience. Impatience rushes outcomes. I am your refuge by teaching endurance. Endurance keeps you steady. I know how easily hidden dangers form through neglect of the inner life. When you neglect reflection, prayer, rest, awareness fades. I am your refuge by drawing you back inward, where truth clarifies. I protect you from becoming what would harm others. Harm does not only destroy victims, it corrodes perpetrators. I am your refuge by shaping your character. Character guards destiny. Hidden dangers also exist in misdirected compassion. Compassion without truth enables harm. I am your refuge by balancing mercy with wisdom. I know how hidden dangers persist when pride refuses correction. I am your refuge by humbling you gently before damage occurs. I protect you from traps disguised as freedom. Freedom without truth becomes bondage. I am your refuge by redefining freedom as alignment. Hidden dangers also approach through unresolved anger. Anger narrows vision. I am your refuge by inviting release. Release restores clarity. I know how hidden dangers exploit loneliness. I am your refuge by reminding you that you are never abandoned. I protect you from harm that would derail your purpose. Your life carries meaning. I guard it accordingly. Hidden dangers do not outmatch my awareness. They do not outrun my reach. They do not overpower my faithfulness. I am your refuge when threats are unseen, when risks are subtle, when harm is disguised. I am your shelter when you are unaware. I am your shield when you are distracted. I am your guard when you are wary. I am your defender when you are vulnerable. And as you move through this day, stepping into conversations, decisions, and environments you cannot fully predict, rest in this truth. You are not exposed. You are not unguarded. You are not alone, because I surround you with protection you cannot always see. Refuge that does not weaken, faithfulness that does not fail, and care that watches over you constantly, shielding your life from hidden dangers and guiding your steps safely forward under my vigilant and loving care.